Are you ready to go 5 pounds down? Well, today we've got a great cardio power walk with no equipment needed. So let's go. All right, beautiful bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. And that means that we're getting started with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, welcome to the workout. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend. And around here, we are all about making peace with your menopausal body by finding a healthy weight and moving through the world in ways that feel like love. And do you know what feels like love? I tell you what, it's finding that healthy weight with the 5-0 method, where every single day we do 5 things that make you say, oh, I had no idea it could be this simple to lose weight before, during, or after menopause. You guys, every single day we're going to eat the right amount of calories, which is not necessarily less than you were eating before. Every single day we're going to drink the right amount of water. Whoa, golly, and we're going to fall over by drinking half your body weight in pounds in fluid ounces of water. Every single day we're going to get the right amount of sleep by going to bed at the same time every night, getting up at the same time every morning, and not worrying too much about how much in between of that was actual sleep. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. You guys, every single day we're going to exercise moderately with a lovely workout. Not exactly this one, but maybe this one. Hopefully today it's this one. That is not necessarily more than you were doing before. And the most important thing of all, every single day, we're going to manage our minds by finding our thoughts and deciding if they're helpful. Because my friends, I don't know if you know it, but you have some unhelpful thoughts about losing weight, about getting to your weight, about your body, about menopause, about all kinds of things that are slowing you down. And they don't need to. And when we find those thoughts, recognize them as being what they are. They're thoughts. They're thoughts that you have, and you have options. And one of your thoughts might be the helpful thought that I have for you today. I love this about me. My friends, have you ever thought about what you don't like about yourself? I know you have. We all have. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes. Because welcome to my home. Blossom is here, by the way. She's just not in her chair today, in case you were wondering about her. She's off doing her workout somewhere else. I think she's napping in her other room. I love this about me is a sentence that has taken me some time to come to appreciate. There are lots of things that I think I don't love about me. I could enumerate them for you, but I'm not going to right now because I'm going to tell you about the workout. In fact, let me tell you about the workout really quickly, and then we can talk about what we love about ourselves. The workout is, I have my handy dandy gym boss here set for intervals of 20 seconds. Every other interval is going to be walking. So when in doubt, walk it out, because every others are going to be all kinds of other things. I've got a no repeat workout for us today, other than the walking that repeats. So many exercises. Some of these transitions are going to be awkward. It's just going to be what it is, and I love that about me. Hey Blossom, how are you, darling? I was just talking about you. Do you want to come sit in your chair before we get going? Is that a no? Come on up, baby. We're going to go ahead and get started with some walking, my friends. 20-second intervals. Gonna be pretty quick. So don't worry about how tough this one is. It's not meant to be tough, it's meant to be moderate, but don't worry about how long it takes you to get in and out of exercises. As long as you are moving and not injuring yourself, you're doing it perfectly. When it beeps, we're gonna do bug slappers. Hands are gonna be out to the side like the letter T. As we step out, we're reaching down towards our opposite foot. I like to think about it as slapping a bug off your shin. Or in this case, more like my knee or maybe even my thigh, wherever you can get to, whatever feels best to you. We are really knocking ourselves off balance, going side to side like this, already starting with some lateral motion, and then here we come to walking again. This is what it's going to look like. 20 seconds of walking, 20 seconds of something else, and then right back to walking. When you need to, consider the walking a rest. Because there is no rest, you can do whatever you need to do to make this workout work for you. When it beeps again, we're doing big arm side shuffles. I'm going to scoot over here a little bit. We're going some big arms in front of us, a nice big circle in front of us while we shuffle from side to side. Now here's the thing about a no repeat workout. It means that if I do an exercise that you don't like, don't love, can't do, can't figure out, we're never coming back to it in this workout, so you can do anything else. Any cardio move that feels good to you, including walking like this right now, is perfect. The point of today is to get your heart rate up nice and moderately and to feel good, which I do. I love that about myself. You guys, when it beeps again, we're doing upside down jacks, which means that we're starting with our hands up overhead. as one of them comes down, we're stepping out, or actually both hands come down, but we're stepping out from side to side. I've got a lot of lateral motion today. This is something that I enjoy doing, to be honest with you, because we don't do a lot of it in real life. We tend to walk forward, and that's kind of all we do. This lateral motion is actually a little bit of built-in balance work for us, coming back to walking. And by the way, feel free. I have the camera set up, so I'm going to stand in one place. I'm going to continue to wear a hole in my carpet here. You are welcome to walk around and make this workout work for you in your house, in your space. When it beeps again, we're doing papa squats, gonna have our feet about hip width apart. We're just squatting down a little bit, not a lot, popping it down and popping your hands up. That popping a squat, getting us moving in an up and down plane of motion. You know, the thing that I like to do when we have these, especially when we have these everything including the kitchen sink kind of workouts, when we're doing lots of different motions, I really like to think, here we come back to walking, about how we're moving our bodies and how those different motions can be improving our range of motion. When it beeps again, we're doing toy soldiers. Really thinking about all the things that we don't do on a daily basis. I think about this a lot as your personal fitness trainer, about how here we go with toy soldiers, opposite hand reaching down towards that opposite kicking foot. I tend to think about how much I sit, to be honest with you, which means that I'm constantly in a slightly crunched forward position, kind of like these toy soldiers, which is why later in our workout I'm just doing lots of lateral motion. Here we come back to walking, but I also have us doing some stepping back, some stepping to the side, moving our hands and our arms in different planes of motion on purpose in small doses is the thing that can keep us more mobile and therefore more independent for many years to come. When it beeps again, we're doing low swinging, high knees. So hands are swinging low. I knew I was going to get started on the wrong one. I intentionally even thought to myself, pick up the other knee, and then didn't do it. My friends, it's only 20 seconds, and this is the way I'm going. So this is the way it's getting done. Our hands are swinging low. We're picking up one high knee at a time, and it does not matter which one it is. You know, I love that about myself, that sometimes, here we come back to walking, that sometimes, even when I'm intentionally thinking about what I'm going to do next, I don't do it. When it beeps again, we're doing dancing frogs. This is the one where I'm picking up my top hat, and the opposite foot is kicking out while that same side hand is just kind of kicking out to the side. I like to think about those old Warner Brother cartoons, Michigan J. Frog, that dancing frog, a little bit of a cross your body motion. Again, not something we always do. If you are anything like me, I tend to be very right-handed, very right-footed, very right side dominant. Coming back to walking here. Therefore, when I have to think about moving one side of my body one way, the other side of my body the other way, it practices something in my brain that I don't do naturally. When it beeps again, we're doing rainbow kicks. Hands are going to go overhead like a rainbow. One foot is going to kick out to one side at a time. My friends, the thing about loving something about yourself that maybe you think you don't love right now, it feels like you don't have an option. Like, oh my gosh, of course I don't love that I always say the wrong thing. Of course I don't love that I make mistakes. Of course I don't love whatever, fill in your blank. I've got my own personal list here. And we come back to walking. But did you know that you can? Like, that's a real question. Do you know that that's an option, that you could love any of it, all of it? By the way, when it beeps again, we're doing half jacks. Half of your body is going to do a jumping jack, like literally your right half, and then literally your left half at a time. Half a jack here, half a jack over there. The fact is, there is no moral imperative. There's no standard. There's nobody who's coming to your house and knocking on your door and saying, hey, you can't love yourself for making mistakes. Now, you might argue with me that, well, society tells us that we're supposed to be perfect. Here we come back to walking. Yeah, okay, but nobody's enforcing that. Like, there's actually no loving yourself police. Nobody is going to arrest you for having an opinion of yourself that feels amazing to you. What if you love this about yourself? When it beeps again, by the way, we're doing skiers. Oh, thank goodness, real skiers today. Hands going up and down in front of us. Feet shuffling back and forth underneath us. tell you what, I offered myself plenty of challenges today in the form of lots of exercises. I don't think I gave myself anything I'm not like mostly capable of doing. I feel like I tried. Here we come back to walking. I feel like I tried to throw myself a little bit of a gimme on most of these today, but also sometimes when there's only 20 seconds, I'll throw myself something difficult because I only have to do it once. Okay, well, coming up next, we're doing day breaks. That's when our hands are overhead like a rainbow, again, but not quite as big, and we are simply stepping from side to side. So tap and tap with your feet. Hands up overhead means that your heart rate's gonna come up. How is your heart rate, by the way? Are we keeping it nice and moderate, even though we're having a super fun time? I know, sometimes it's kind of hard to keep it moderate. I love that about myself. I love that sometimes I exercise too much. I love that I definitely talk too much. I love that I'm not perfect. I love that I make mistakes. I have practiced loving lots of things about myself that I didn't think I could. And I will tell you that when you first start practicing this, oh, by the way, we are doing shooting stars. Here we are tipping to one side and tipping to the other. That was a really fast 20 seconds. And I was just really getting into my speech. Here's the thing about starting this practice of loving something about yourself that you don't think you love right now. It is not going to feel natural or good or believable. Here we come back to walking. When you say, I love whatever it is that feels like something you can't possibly love. Where I would suggest that you start with this. That means that I love this about me is not going to be a helpful thought for you yet, by the way. If what you feel is crushing self-doubt, don't tell yourself I love this about me, because then it's not true and it's not helpful to get you where you want to go. When it beeps again, we're doing deadlift jacks. That's where our hands are doing jumping jacks and our lower body is doing deadlifts. The exercise formerly known as forward hinge arm flappers. I tell you what though, I've gotten really used to this name. Like I almost couldn't come up with the forward hinge arm flappers, and I have been calling them that for like 7 years. Sometimes the brain takes on, here we come back to walking, sometimes the brain will take on a new thought like that. You might surprise yourself with something that you think you can't love. Once you even open yourself up to the possibility that you could, that it's okay if you do that you have permission, you might find things that you love right away. When it beeps again, we're doing reach across high and low. So high, high, and low, and low. You're reaching across your body, tapping out to that other side. Well, actually, it's the same side foot. It just feels like the other side because you're reaching across your body. And if you're not, if you're reaching on the same side or you can't quite do the high and low, if you are moving your body and it feels good and your heart rate is right where you want it to be, here we come back to walking. We're done with that one anyways. My friends, I love no repeat workouts. So much fun. When it beeps again, let me tell you right now, we're doing front punch, side kicks. So hard for me to say that one, so I have to say it really slowly. We're actually front punching while side kicking. For me, I'm actually really impressed. My body did exactly what I was asking it to do. I'm going to cross my body, really thinking about moving in 2 different planes of motion here. Core is pulled in tight. I'm still breathing, obviously, because I'm still talking. Really thinking about where your body is in space and time. Some of these kind of complicated exercises, here we come back to walking, can help your brain stay active for years to come. I know you probably heard that exercise is just good for you. I mean, I feel like you probably know that exercise is good for your health. By the way, when it beeps again, we're doing speed skaters. You're stepping from side to side in a nice wide stance. Your hands are making the infinity symbol in front of you. We don't have to get very low. It could be a full lunge if you want to. If you don't like standing on one foot for this long of amount of time, feel free to tap down. My friend, make this work for you. And I love this about you, that you can make a workout work for you no matter what I'm doing. And I hope that you, here we come back to walking, love that about yourself. Do you love that you modify the exercises? Probably not, huh? I know when it beeps again, by the way, we're doing middle skips. Sometimes we think that if we're not doing something just right, that we can't possibly love that thing about ourselves. I will tell you, here we go with middle skips, that I do lots of things that are not just right. I do lots of things that are maybe what other people don't like. Sometimes, not you personally, but sometimes people tell me they don't like what I'm doing, that I should be doing something different, that I should not be saying the things that I say, that I should not talk as much as I talk, that I should not do the things that I do. Here we come back to walking, and you know what? I love that about myself. I love, like truly, I love that I am not everybody's cup of tea. I love that I am exactly who I am. And by the way, when it beeps again, we're doing booty kicker jacks. Hands are doing jumping jacks. Lower body is doing booty kickers. If there's something about yourself that you're like, you know what, Paula, I don't want to love that, I really want to improve that, I will tell you that the way to improve something about yourself is not to hate it. When you hate it, you don't want to think about it. You don't want to like feel that churning kind of maybe embarrassment or shame or even hatred. Here we come back to walking. What you might feel instead is maybe something like curiosity. If I were going to change this habit, how would I go about that? If a person could change, what would they do? When it beeps again, okay, this one is not a gimme. It's chicken wing, high knees. So your hands are doing chicken wings. Oh, I got it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I love that about myself. Arms are doing chicken wings. Elbows are flapping up and down like chicken wings. We're raising one high knee at a time. If you started by doing a chicken wing side kick, feel free to continue. There is no problem with doing this exercise in whatever way feels maybe not natural to your body. Here we come back to walking. There's nothing about chicken wings that are natural. But whatever felt like the right way to move your body, totally fine with me. The thing is, if you would like to change something about yourself, coming about it from a place of calmness, kindness, compassion, here we go with push, push, crunch. So push, push, and crunch it on over. Push, push, and a big swoop, and bringing up that one knee out to the side, opening up those hips, really thinking about using your abs and obliques for this. Tell you what, it's cardio day, but we're pulling in our core. We're thinking about moving our body in different ways. Plenty of toning to be had too. Here we come back to walking. When it beeps again, I'm going to tell you now, so don't forget, wide open side kicks. Hands are going to be at your chest level, elbows at shoulder height. You're going to open up your hands nice and wide open, and we're kicking out to the side. You get to decide how much of a kick that is. For me, it's a little bit of a leg raise. You get to make this workout work for you. Thinking about something that you don't think you love, and thinking about it in a calm, compassionate, kind way. It's almost like, and this is often how I think about it because I used to be a preschool teacher, I think about how I'd like to redirect a child, for example, here we come back to walking, who's doing something a little bit naughty, and I don't want to yell at the child and be like, you're naughty. I mean, okay, sometimes I wanted to do that, but I didn't. Thank you. When it beeps again, we're doing double knees, hands overhead, bringing your hands down to your knees while your knee comes up to your hands 2 times on one side, then 2 times on the other. What I would do as a professional, instead of yelling and being frustrated, is think about what's something else that this child would like to do that would be more fun or more interesting than what they are currently doing. The fact is, you are currently doing something, whatever it is, that you don't think you'd like to love, but that you would like to change, and then you can decide what's something I could do instead of this, here we come back to walking, that I would also like to do, and maybe even more. When you offer yourself a treat to change, so much easier to change. I promise you on this one. When it beeps again, we're doing cross back jacks. Okay, hands are doing jumping jacks. Feet are doing a little cross back thing. I used to call these curtsy lunges, but I don't like to lunge anymore. So therefore, it's just a little cross back. I'm gonna try really hard not to kick the glass case, not to kick the gray chair. Feel like I've kind of got my space here pretty good today. My tootsie's gonna do okay and hopefully not get kicked anywhere. I love that about myself, that I very frequently kick the furniture while we are working out today together. Coming back to walking, and here's what I noticed. We don't have a lot more exercises. We have really done some good work today. When it beeps again, we're doing side step washing machines, which means that your hands are doing washing machines, which doesn't mean anything to you. Elbows are about shoulder height. We are twisting one way while tapping our foot in front of us the other direction, really getting a full twist in your spine. Now, if you don't like to get a twist in your spine, my friend, don't get a twist in your spine. Move your hands in some way, move your legs in maybe a different way, and make this exercise the best that it can be for you. Coming back to walking, we're done with that one anyways. When it beeps again, we're doing can-cans. That's a knee and a kick on one side and a knee and a kick on the other. My friends, you are capable, and you have my permission, you have everybody's permission, because nobody can stop you to love anything you want about yourself. Here we go with can-cans. Maybe what you love about yourself is how you do can-cans. because maybe you don't like can-cans or they're tough for you and you do them a completely different way than I do them. I love that about you. I love that you're still here, still doing can-cans no matter what they look like. What if you loved yourself for that too? Come back to walking. I love this about me. Doesn't mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean that you're doing everything right. It doesn't mean that you're doing everything according to somebody else's standard. It simply means that you can love yourself because you want to, because it feels good. Imagine, here we go with alley-oops. Feet are nice and wide. We're swooping our hands overhead and pivoting to one side. A little bit of a lunge, but again, not as lungy as I used to be. I am less lungy as the years go on. My friends, this is our last exercise. When it beeps again, we are coming back to walking for our final time. And then of course, we are done. But we're not quite finished. I'm gonna bring this walking way down because you know that what I have for us here at the end is a little bit of balance work. And by a little bit of balance work, I mean a lot of balance work. By 20 seconds on each side, we're gonna do a front kick, back kick on each side. I'm gonna stand on my left leg first. I'm gonna slow this way down so I can catch my breath a little bit. And then here we go. It's a front kick and a back kick, exactly what it sounds like. You get to kick as high as you want or as low as you want. You can tap down in the middle. You can tap down the whole time. You can be hanging on to something. No matter what you do, you can love this about yourself. You can. You're capable. You have my permission. Here we go on the other side. Kicking forward, kicking back. What a good job you're doing. My friends, it is available to you to love yourself, all of you, everything about you, even the things that maybe you don't think you want to right now. That was it. Okay, that was really good today. You did a great job. I mean, for reals, no matter what that looked like at your house, and we're gonna go ahead and do some arm circles here. No matter if that was all walking, if it was a whole bunch of different exercises than the ones that I was doing, if it was exactly the way I did it, there was no standard here to meet except for the one that you want to set for yourself. And I suggest, humbly, kindly, that the standard you set for yourself is that you loved this about yourself. My friends, it feels so good to love yourself. There's literally no downside. There is nothing that can come from love that feels like anything except love. Let's go ahead and open it up. You really want to feel that love? Me too. Give yourself a hug and a pat on your sweaty back. You did a very good job. And I love this about you. My friends, thank you so much for working out with me. We have another one tomorrow. Tomorrow's day 5 of this 5-day series. Every 4 weeks, I put out another 5 videos. It's been a good week so far, and you know what I have for us tomorrow? I've got some great strength work, and I can't wait for it. Thank you so much for working out with me today. Make sure before you go that you click that subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.